Hello, Aries, and welcome to your April tarot reading. So glad that you're here. I'm so excited to be with you here today, and we are going to do some wonderful look at the energy for April. This month we're using the Spirit of the Animals Oracle deck in the very beginning of your reading. And let's see, your first card, it's going to set the tone for the reading, is Swan Grace. I'll read it and then I'll show it to you. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous card. So your theme for the month, Aries, is grace. I love it. And before we get started, we're just going to kind of center ourselves a little bit and take a nice deep breath in. All right. Kind of let the calmness of that wash over us. And let's dive into your reading, keeping in mind that message of grace. Now, this is a general reading for the sign of Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs. So, keep in mind that not everything will be for everyone, and that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm holding the entire deck upside down. Isn't that how it goes? Okay, so we've got our first few cards, and remember that we've got themes for each row. So we're going to discuss the recent past. Then we are going to discuss the present energy, meaning the energy that we have right now for you in April. And then we'll discuss some challenges for the month, some blessings for the month, and what Spirit's message is for you for the month of April. So lots of info to come. Hang on to your socks. And I'm just getting all the cards out here. My deal is that the cards have to grab my attention in some way. So here we go. Got a nice grouping for you. And your first card is Seven of Swords. Now, Aries, the Seven of Swords is a card that talks about being very strategic. What we see in this particular depiction of it, this is the Light Seers Tarot, is someone he appears to be making off with, it looks like raven's wings. In the original depiction of this card, it shows someone who appears to be gathering up swords, kind of in a sneaky way. Now, when this card is in your unbalanced aspect, it can mean that someone is being sneaky, perhaps deceptive, things of that nature. But in how I read, in its upright position, it denotes that you're being very strategic. You're actually gathering these things together so that you can use them for a future endeavor. And remember, swords is the element of air, and it talks about our mental processes. So this is specifically in regards to how we're thinking, logical thinking, putting the steps together in a logical manner that makes sense. So your recent past, we've had some energy of that. Now, practical application of this could be that you're having to get very logical about things that are going on in your life, maybe with relationships, maybe with your job, maybe with your health. You're having to, really face the facts and get really strategic about how you're going to deal with them. So that's the first energy. And then we have the Nine of Wands. This is the boundary card. This is the card of saying, this is my line in the sand and this is where I stand. Wands have to do with fire and our inspiration, but also our actions. So this is not just saying that this is my boundary. This is showing that it's your boundary, and then you won't tolerate a certain behavior any longer. This also applies to tolerating our own behaviors. So keep in mind that the boundaries that you may have been setting in the recent past might be boundaries for you. I actually think that it's more about that, especially since we have the Seven of Swords with being strategic. You've figured out some facts, Aries, and now you're having to, set some new areas where you will work within, and you won't work outside of that area. Ooh, and then you have the Magician. I love this card. So in the recent past, you've had this energy of, I am going to do it. I will. The meaning of the Magician card is I will. And what the Magician does is uses all the tools at their disposal and the power of their will to create their reality. So Aries, happy birthday. We're coming into your time, and happy birthday to all the Pisces as well. But you Aries are the ones that are watching this. This is your time. If you have not already been in this energy, this is coming up for you very, very soon, where you're going to have to be very strategic. You're going to have to look at the facts of things and set yourself some boundaries. Now, by boundaries, I mean, it's possible you may have to set yourself some new routines. Maybe you have to set yourself some new goals. Definitely with the Magician card, goal setting is going to be paramount. Now we're moving into present energy. And by present, I mean in the month of April. So for the month of April, you have the amazing King of Pentacles. Love this card. King of Pentacles is always about abundance. It's about you having everything that you need, and you're being able to use these resources in a way that benefits you and those that you care for. So, card of abundance, and remembering that message of grace in there as well. You also have the Two of Wands. So you do have a decision that you're going to be making, Aries. It's possible that you may have already made it, or it could be that Seven of Swords energy where you have to really look at the facts and be very strategic. That's the kind of energy that you need to apply towards this decision that you're making. The Two of Swords is always a crossroads moment. It's telling us, should we go this way or that way? And we have to make that decision. Excuse me, I said Two of Swords. I meant Two of Wands. Two of Wands is your decision point. Wands are fire energy, so they're about drive and determination and action and passion. So when you're trying to make this decision that will be coming up for you, Aries, what you're going to need to focus on is what really lights me up. What is the thing that I am very, very excited about doing? And that is the direction that you need to move in. Then you have the Queen of Swords. So it's not only about our feelings about it, our drive and our passion, but it's going to be about our logic as well. That is what the Queen of Swords is very, very good at. She is about logic and being able to take all the different little facts and distill them down into their essence. And then that's an internal energy. It's a feminine expression of the energy. So this is going to be something that you're going to be percolating in your brain, Aries. I like it. Really, really good. All right, now your challenges this month. Number one challenge, it's a great card. It's the Hierophant. And the Hierophant has kind of two meanings. In this depiction of it, the sense that I get of it is becoming enlightened, really seeing your path forward, learning about yourself. The Hierophant is always about knowledge, okay, of some kind. And also not only about knowledge, but also about the rituals that we employ as humans to celebrate big milestones. Now, when we do finally learn something new about ourselves and we have that epiphany, take a look, we've got this glowing star at the top of this very tall set of steps here. And this person appears to be in a meditative pose of some kind. So we're getting the idea that we're having higher learning or higher knowledge is coming to us. And so your challenge this month, Aries, because this is in the challenge position, your challenge this month is going to be to really tap into that higher knowledge. Are you connecting with spirit on a regular basis? Are you tapping into source energy? That's going to be really, really key for you. Another big challenge that's coming towards you is the Three of Swords. Now, keep in mind that this is swords energy. So even though we see a heart here, we're talking about mental energy. We're talking about the mind. Swords has to do with the air. Cups has to do with our feelings. Even though we see this person who appears to be in anguish, this is actually mental anguish. So what I'm going to say for you, Aries, is your challenges, you're going to have a tendency to sort of overthink those two choices that you're coming up with. You may be overthinking what type of boundaries that you're needing to set. You may have a tendency to just sort of jump into it without really tuning into what is it that you want versus what is it that's the facts, what's actually possible. All right. And then your other challenge, Three of Cups, which is, this is the Find Your Tribe card. This is the card of camaraderie, enjoying time out with friends. So your challenge this month, Aries, might be that you're wanting to play a little bit too much. You're wanting to go out and have fun a little too much and not buckle down to the real work of the situation. It's okay to do that, but all things in moderation. Now, let's come to the blessings, because I like that part. All right, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is the self-sufficiency card. It's the card of you have all the resources at your disposal that you need in order to conquer the challenges for the month. I truly believe this. You have got this, Aries. This decision, while it might seem like it's a big one and it's a little overwhelming, it might be bringing you some of that mental anguish. You have got this. You have the resources that you need. And if you think that you don't, then it's time to start thinking outside the box. Page of Wands says now is the time that you need to be moving forward. Look at that carefree picture. I love it. She's tossed her wand into the air. She appears to be dancing. So there's a lot of action and movement involved. It's that sense of moving forward without, we're not dragging our feet, okay? Wand's energy is fire. It's excitement. So what is firing you up? Now I'm looking across here also. When you're able to set the boundaries and you have this decision, if you can get over that hurdle of really being too caught up in the decision part of it, you get to that joyfulness, right? You get to that sense of ease and just the sheer enjoyment of life. All right. And then your last blessing is going to be Ace of Cups. Now this is lovely. Ace of Cups. Cups again is emotions, has to do with water, the element of water. And the Ace of Cups is a new love. Now, remember that we love lots of things. We love things and we love people and we love ourselves and we love the prime creator. So there's a lot of ways that new love can come in for you. It's in your blessings row. So you've got Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and then Ace of Cups. When you really understand that you have all the resources that you need, and then you allow yourself to feel that lovely sense of freedom and passion about what you are doing, you are able to experience that new love. And that is really the fulfilling type of feeling that we get when we allow ourselves to do that. All right, so now we're coming to Spirit's message. What does Spirit want you to know? And the card that we have is the World card. This card actually came out reversed. So the World typically is a card that speaks about the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. It's about completion and endings, but you've got it reversed. So I'm going to say, Aries, that I don't think you're quite at the end of the cycle as of yet. You will be. You're coming to that. But there is something else that needs to be done first before you're able to complete that cycle. King of Wands, here you are in your reading. I love it when you show up in your reading. This is great. King of Wands is the king of passion. He's the king of drive. He's the king of innovation. So it's very possible that the decision that you're having to make this month could have something to do with that you have two ideas. Both are equally appealing and you're needing to make a decision because you're not able to do both of them at the same time. Remember, you can do all the things, just not all at the same time. So King of Wands in this reading is showing you know the way. Be the lion. Be the lion. And forge forward with drive and determination. Your last message from Spirit is the Six of Cups. This is a lovely depiction of it. What we see is this man at the bottom here with his dog, and he's remembering when he was small, and so was the dog, and how they have come together. So it's a card of joyfulness. It's a card of innocence. It's a card of tapping in to the playfulness of youth. It's also the card of remembrance and nostalgia. Could be an indication that someone is coming into your life from the past, or perhaps you're just thinking about them. It might even be someone that's passed and you're just reliving good memories of them. This is a good feeling card. The Six of Cups is always a card of victory in the emotional realm. So overall, I really like this message for you, Aries. What it's showing me, we've got a nice progression here, which I'm very happy to see. It's your main message is, in using that grace, make sure that you're employing all of your tools. Remember the Magician. So employ your tools, employ your mind, your emotions, your connection to spirit, all of the resources that you have. And that can be all kinds of things. Employ all of those things, including your will, so that you can move into the decision-making process that you have in front of you here, and be able to experience some of those blessings and benefits, that new love that you're going to have. Now, if we're talking about, I don't feel that this is particularly a love reading, but for those of you who are looking for love, it's very likely that some of you may experience a new love or a rekindling of a love. With this Six of Cups, it's possible that someone from your past may be coming in. The Six of Cups and the Ace of Cups are right next to one another in this reading. So it's very likely that it might be that, someone from your past is coming in and you're starting fresh. That is very much a possibility. You've got this Three of Swords right in the middle of your reading, and all the other cards are surrounding it. So I am going to say, Aries, that there is something here that you aren't dealing with, and it's a mental thing. So if you are one in the collective that is having an issue with dealing with a past heartbreak of some kind, it is time to conquer that. Okay, so I have to show you how it looks because it's kind of interesting. So, I don't know if you can see this really well. So you've got this Three of Swords in the middle. You've got the Hierophant here. And then you've got the Three of Cups underneath. Now, the message that I am getting from this particular lineup of cards is that in order to overcome this mental anguish, it's going to require you really being able to tap into source energy and get that higher knowledge. But also the fact that your friends are going to help you as well. So it's both earthly and heavenly help that is going to help you with that. That's really going to help you move forward with that grace that we talked about in the beginning of the reading. All right. We talked a little bit about love. I really feel that this reading is about dealing with some sort of, we'll say, heartbreak, although it might only be something involving your career or a coworker. I don't think that your issue is necessarily a love issue. There is some sense here of that this is at the crux of what you're having to make a decision about. And I think that you're letting your brain stop you from overcoming it. You can overcome it. In fact, all of the cards around that Three of Swords are positive cards. So that's really great. That means you have lots of resources in order to deal with this. If we were talking about a health issue, you have the resources. You've just got to get over that first hurdle, right? And that hurdle has to do with you recognizing the facts of the situation and then implementing new strategies. Because if you continue to do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. That's the definition of insanity, by the way. So you don't want to go there. You want to go to abundance and joy and love. That's where you want to be headed. All right. So now we are going to use the Isis Oracle as our oracle card today for April. And I also have another little oracle deck that we're going to look at that's called Divine Doors. So I'm actually, all right, I'm going to pull that one. And I'm going to do the Divine Doors first, I think. These are kind of cool. All different kinds of doors. Distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free. As you dare dream it. So as you dare dream it, so must it be. And there is what the little door looks like. Each one of these is a different doorway. All right. As you dare dream it, so must it be. That's the Magician card all day long. All right. Divine Destiny is your Isis Oracle card. So let me just do this. As you know, I like to do a little bibliomancy here. And so I'm just going to scan through this and let whatever pops out be the message. Here is your card. I picked this particular oracle deck because of its association with the element of fire, which is your element, Aries. All right, Divine Destiny, spiritual work of the higher initiate. The divine warrior guides you to your divine destiny. The divine warrior energy exists within men and women as the inner propulsion to continue with a worthy path even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of themselves to the cause. It might be more wisdom, focus, intelligence, and surrender into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. This part of you will lead you to spiritual success. The part of you that has great self-esteem and believes that what you desire is worth whatever effort, personal growth, application, focus, and attention are required to obtain it, aligns with your divine destiny. This part of you acts in personal integrity. And if the goal will compromise integrity, then the goal is refined until it shines like a diamond in your heart. Ooh. All right, well, that's exciting. Sounds like, Aries, that it's time to be looking at what your goals are and how to achieve them and what obstacles that you need to overcome, even if they're only in your mind. What do you need to overcome so that you can reach that goal and grab onto it? All right. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you the best month ever. See you next time.